Hello, in this episode, I'm going to have a look at some of the last features of the Microkorg, namely the mod effects, the delay, and the EQ. Let's start off with the mod effects, but actually before we do that, I tweaked the sound that I started off with a little bit more. Let me show you what I did in the patch bay. So the first patch, LFO1, is modulating LFO2 for a negative value. In the second patch, LFO2 is modulating itself for a positive value, just to add some craziness. And then in the third patch, LFO2 is modulating some noise, or is sort of bringing in noise now and again. It's very subtle though. And the fourth patch is taking LFO2 LFO2 is modulating the cutoff, and that's a positive value. So the sound that we start off with is this. There we go. So as you can see, it's noisy, quite imperfect. There's the distortion that's playing in there, and in fact, there's a whole range of notes in up here. Once, if you have the octave shift up one, so here, the chords play out quite nicely. But when I go up here, they start to distort. And you can see how it moves away from that distortion. It's just one region. If I go higher than that, I will get again notes that sound okay, or chords that sound okay. But for some reason, the ring modulation and the distortion interplay in a way that causes distortion in this area for single notes as well. Okay, anyways, that's just a quirk of the patch, and I'm happy to work around that, or even to use it for effects in certain parts of the track. Alright, on to the mod effects. So, the first knob, so the mod effects resides right after the four sort of modulation patch matrix sections. And basically, the first knob controls the type. You have flanger, ensemble, which is kind of like a chorus, and phaser. The second knob, what it does is define the LFO speed. So the mod effects has its own LFO. So the speed of the effect of the modulation, since all of these modulate the sound in one way or another. And then the third knob basically just defines the depth. So even if I were to turn up the modulation up high for whichever effect I have chosen, if the effect depth is 0, nothing will happen. Nothing changes. However, if I increase it, then we'll hear some effects. The last two knobs do not have any function, FYI. Okay, so let's go back to the flanger. Let's put it at a moderate setting. Let's increase the modulation, the effect depth. So without go. Okay, the next one is ensemble. We'll keep things at the same setting. Without. And with. Kind of more romantic sounding. Okay, the last one is the phaser. So first of all, without, that makes more sense. With. Without for chords. And with. The speed is quite high, so I could turn it down. So again, by using the speed of the effect and the effect depth, you can really change the sound in very meaningful ways. The next feature is delay. Now, some of these delays I will not be able to demonstrate exactly how they work because I'm recording the synth in mono, and some of them have sort of stereo features. The first knob allows you to select the kind of delay that you want, straight, cross delay, which I guess means that it takes the original signal. If it's a stereo, if you have a stereo out, it takes the original right channel, and then the delay, it switches that into the left channel, and vice versa for the left channel. So you have a cross delay, basically. And then the next one is left to right, which I think bounces the delay left to right. So I'm guessing that really the only one that you'll be able to hear clearly will be the straight. I mean, the other ones I'll try, but you will not get a full impression of it from this recording. The second knob, that is all about, I believe, let's see, kind of blanking here. Oh yeah, tempo sync. So it can sync the delay interval to the tempo of the arpeggiator. I'll look at arpeggiators in the next video. But basically it means that if you're working on a track that has a certain BPM, you can set the delay to match that BPM by setting your arpeggiator to that BPM and then turning on the tempo sync. When it's off, which is what we're going to try first, the next knob affects the delay interval, the delay time, and here it's off, so you can set it to whatever you want. And then the next knob is the delay depth. So how much delayed signal you have versus the dry signal. And then the last knob doesn't do anything. All right, so let's try and hear some sounds now. So as you can see, when I was changing the delay time while I was playing sound, the delay in the Microkorg emulates basically tape delays, vintage tape delays, in the sense that when you change the time of the delay, you kind of got this sort of wow and flutter from the tape speed being changed, and that's what you're hearing here. So that's what you heard there, right? And it goes the other way too. If I go, okay. So you have that. Let's increase the delay mix and hear what that sounds like. There you go. So that's quite nice sounding. All right. Let's see what the. Oh, were we on crossed? Let's see. Okay. Okay. Now crossed. Sounds a little bit different, but the thing is that since it's mono, you're not really getting a real impression. But at least if you're working with mono, you'll see what it sounds like. And then left to right. So there we go, that's the delay. Quite nice to add atmospherics to your sound. The last thing that I'm going to look at today is the EQ. This is actually quite useful. Let me turn off the delay for a sec, or kind of tune it to something more to my liking. Let's see. That will do. Perfect. All right, with the EQ, basically you have a two-band EQ in the sense that the knobs work in pairs here. This knob defines what frequency the EQ is going to act on the low end. So it goes from 40 hertz to 1000 hertz. So from really low frequencies, almost at the edge of our hearing range, to sort of low mids. Okay, so in the sound, actually, I already applied some EQ because I needed to, and now I can't remember what setting I had it on. But it's a good time to talk about the second knob. So once you've selected what frequency you want to affect, you want to either attenuate or accentuate, then the second knob helps you do that. Minus values means that that frequency will be lowered, probably by 12 dB, I'm guessing, or increased by up to 12 dB. But I kind of wanted to attenuate that, tame those super low frequencies a teeny bit. On the high end, I had this set to a mid frequency, so 1500 hertz, low mid maybe, I don't know. And then I had also attenuated it. By the way, this can go all the way up to 18,000 hertz, which is almost, near the hearing limit for the human ear. So it's got quite a lot of range. And again, you can attenuate or accentuate depending on what you want. So that's very useful. And I'm just going to return it to where it was. There we go. Something like that. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you're enjoying it. And next video will probably be the last video for a while. And we'll look at the arpeggiator. Thanks for watching. Bye.